Let me start with something that might feel a little too real. Have you ever thought to yourself, I'm not sure how much more of this I can honestly stand? Maybe it's the constant political chaos, or the sense of exhaustion that just never goes away. No matter how hard you work, no matter how invested you are in changing the world for the better, no matter how much you try to give yourself some time to rest. If you're someone who's dedicated years to social justice, or even if you're just someone who's been living through the last 10 years, who has a heart and really cares about what's happening in this country, you know what it means to feel both called and completely depleted. I want you to know that you're not weak for feeling this way, and you're definitely not alone. And there are real science-based ways to keep going in this era so that we can keep leading with impact, making the world a better place, and continuing to do the work that really matters, even in this incredibly terrifying time. Hi, I'm Elizabeth Cronise McLaughlin. I'm a lifelong activist who's organized everything from small community events to an 800-city mass mobilization against Trump. And for the last 15 years, I've been working with social justice leaders just like you, who are burnt out but still want to keep going so that they can build the impact that they know they're here to make. Inside the Ripple Effect Institute, we work with people day in and day out who are committed to social justice, but simultaneously really struggling right now to keep going. Just in the last year alone, we have dozens of clients who have come to us on the verge of burnout or quitting because they are so exhausted and depleted by the constant flood of terrible news in the face of the change that we're trying to create. But by learning the tools that I'm going to share with you today, these clients have not only reclaimed their energy, but are leading whole new large-scale initiatives that are making real change in their own communities and beyond. That's what happens when you not only understand burnout, but you actually truly heal and reset. Before we continue, if you're ready for that kind of breakthrough, here's what I want you to do. Click the link below and book a free strategy call with a member of our team. There's no pressure, just a real conversation about your unique challenges and a roadmap that can get you from where you are now to where you want to go in your social justice impact. We'll help you find your energy, your clarity, and your purpose again. We would love to connect with you. Now let's get into exactly what's happening in your body and your mind under the current conditions that we're living in and what you can do to change the game. Let's start with the truth. The stress and the trauma that you feel is not just in your head. It's actually hardwired into our nervous systems. Chronic stress, like what we've all been living through in the last 10 years under the influence of Trump and his lackeys, actually impacts the brain and the body in very significant ways. For instance, chronic stress actually shrinks the part of your brain that's responsible for logical thinking and regulation of our emotions. That makes our fear response louder, our focus fuzzier, and our patience shorter. So one thing I want you to take away from this is what we're living through and the impacts of it on us personally is not actually about our willpower. It's not about whether or not we're adequately pushing through it. It's actually about biology. But the story doesn't end there because, believe it or not, resilience is also biological, and it's built through simple, powerful habits that reset our central nervous systems. Something as basic as a 60-second deep breathing exercise can cut stress hormones by up to 20%. Similarly, box breathing, which is 4 on an inhale, holding for 4, exhaling for 4, and holding for 4, can switch your body from fight or flight response to calm in a very short window of time. Even a minute of movement or a splash of cold water on your face can help your brain and body come back online. So let's pause for a second. I want you to think for a minute about when the last time was that you actually paused to reset in the context of what we're living through. When was the last time that you actually took just a couple of minutes to center yourself and actually try to engage in practices that will help you feel better? And then I want you to think about what it would feel like to make that a part of your daily rhythm instead of a practice of last resort. These are the strategies that we as social justice leaders need to be implementing on a regular basis. Without these practices, especially right now, the chances of burnout increase exponentially. Now, I want to make something else clear here because it's really important to think about this, not just in the physiological context, but also in the political context. Because one of the reasons why we all are feeling so constantly under stress and burnt out is because that impact is by design. The people who are in charge of this country want us feeling burnt out, want us feeling overwhelmed, want us incapable of thinking clearly about how to respond. They want us in positions where we feel like we're barely scraping by. This is not something that is accidental. It is designed as a campaign of shock, and awe, to set us back on our heels so that we can't accomplish the change that we're here to make and effectively fight back. So the practices that I'm sharing with you in this video are not just designed as quote unquote self-care. They actually are a mandatory part of effective political strategy in this era. Every single one of us needs to learn and practice resilience so that we can continue to do the work that we know we're here to do. This is one reason why these practices, techniques, and support is core to our methodology at the Ripple Effect Institute. We guide professionals dedicated to social justice in leading impactful initiatives that build lasting community change. And the only way that any of us can do that is by finding and applying practices and strategies that restore us day in and day out while we live through these incredibly difficult times. We have to restore ourselves first so that our impacts can ripple outward. Let me share with you an example. We work with someone who runs a social justice nonprofit on the West Coast by the name of Lisa. When she came to work with us at the Ripple Effect Institute, she was completely burnt out to the point of considering quitting what has become a foundational nonprofit doing work on housing justice, LGBTQ rights, and immigration defense in California. Through her work with us, however, where we were able to teach her practices that allow her to reset on a daily basis and also support her in making changes to her leadership structure, she has now recommitted to this work, and it's expanded beyond anything that she could have imagined. What we're talking about in today's video, in other words, is not wishful thinking, and it's not optional. This is something that, in our view, is fundamental to being able to do the work that we need to do right now to protect and save lives. And hey, if you're listening and you're thinking, I really want to do that too, but I need someone to walk me through it, this is your reminder to go book that free strategy call with our team. We'll help you pinpoint what's draining you, and we'll identify the habits, boundaries, and mindset shifts that will help you get your energy and your purpose back. No pressure, just support. Now, I want to talk for a minute about actual burnout because it is an epidemic that nobody in this work actually really enjoys talking about. Burnout isn't just tiredness. It's when hope actually starts to slip away, when cynicism bleeds in, and when you keep pushing even though it feels like nothing matters. And it sneaks up on us, even on the most committed, most capable social justice leaders. And it's definitely not helped by bots and trolls and negative Nellies on social media who are out there telling us that any effort to stop this, let alone build a better world, is pointless. So I do want to make one thing clear here. Science tells us that if our stress stays high and our recovery is low, burnout is inevitable. And that's one reason why boundaries are radically necessary for anyone who's trying to create change in this era. Saying no to things that you know you don't have the bandwidth to handle is a radical act of leadership. And focusing on your unique strengths in social justice work, on only what you can do and not what you should do, will actually bring you back to life. I've seen our clients double their impact, double or even triple the reach of their organizational work, not by doing more, but actually by doing less. And that includes by saying no to things that don't line up with their purpose or their mission, by delegating things to other leaders who are in the work, and most importantly, by building in time for joy and connection. One of the things that I just want to remind everybody about here, which I know I've said in other places, if you happen to follow me on social media or you watch my regular news broadcast, you've heard me say this a lot. There is one thing that our leaders cannot steal from us in this era, and that is joy. It is one reason why it is incredibly important that we bring joy to our social justice work. When you think about the frogs that were rolled out in Portland against ICE, when you think about some of the funniest signs that you may have seen in social justice protests, when you think about the way in which effective community building right now depends on gathering with people who actually care about one another, you can understand why it is so important that we do not abandon joy. The work that we're in right now is incredibly hard. We are up against forces that want nothing more than to break every single one of us who cares about the dignity and freedom of others. It is imperative that we see our joy as an act of resistance. So if you are a social justice leader who finds yourself tumbling into cynicism, who finds yourself on a daily basis wondering what's the point, this is the moment to set boundaries, to take initiative in making sure that you delegate some of your work and then go find a place or a person who brings you joy and happiness and hang out in that place for just an hour or two. It will give you a sense of meaning and belonging that we all desperately need in this time. So don't neglect your joy and don't neglect your boundaries. It's critically important that both of those things thrive in this moment. So let's pause here for a minute. I want you to think about one thing that maybe you're ready to let go of right now. Or in the alternative, think about what it would feel like to protect your own energy and boundaries as fiercely as you are protecting your own community. Again, the work of boundaries and the work of joy is mandatory to survival in this era. Finally, I want to talk for a moment about the importance of purpose and values. And believe me, I get that after 10 years of this nonsense, your big why may feel a little blurry. I myself have struggled with this from time to time, but I want to give you a really important reminder. Purpose is the fuel that keeps us going. What is your purpose in seeking to do social justice work? Write it down. Look at it daily. Remind yourself of why you're here. And also, your values are a critical part of your compass. When you get clear on your purpose and your values, everything else gets simpler. Decisions, boundaries, even your energy in this era, they all flow from a sense of purpose. And if you're not sure what your purpose is, I want you to start small. Journal about the work that you've done in furtherance of social justice that makes you proud. Take some notes about the moments in trying to change the world when you have felt the most alive. Ask yourself, what do you want your leadership to stand for, even when things are really hard? And believe me, we've worked with more people than we can count at this point inside the Ripple Effect Institute who came to us not really knowing what their purpose was and having a vague sense of values, but not really sure how they were living them out. Getting crystal clear on these creates a driving force behind your work to make the world better, even when it feels like we're drowning under a flood of terrible news, injustice, and harm. If you know why you're here, and you know why the work that you're doing matters, you will have what you need to keep going even in the face of all this horror. And better yet, if you can do that work in community, like we do inside the Ripple Effect Institute, you will have people who have your back, who will remind you of your purpose and your values, even when the going gets really tough. So here's what I want you to take away. If you're feeling burnt out and overwhelmed right now, you are not broken. With the right tools, the right support, the right practices, and a clear sense of purpose, you can heal, reset, and lead the change that you're meant to lead. And if you're ready to take real actionable steps, if you want an expert partner and an incredible international community to walk you through recovering from burnout, reclaiming your energy, and building the legacy you're here to make, book your free strategy call with us now. You'll leave that call with a clear plan, personal insight, and renewed hope. Again, the link is in the description. We can't wait to hear your story and help you take the next step toward creating the social justice that we're all working for arm in arm. Thank you for your work, for your courage, and for your heart. You are not alone. And your next ripple, it starts now. Thanks for being here.